I'm about to unpack something horrifying. What we call reality is fake. Layer by layer, substituted for so gradually that we start to call it normal. Sort of like how society accepted health at any size as an acceptable fitness goal. But the stakes that I speak of, in this case, are much higher. This isn't vague YouTube fluff or metaphor. It's a 6-layer simulation engineered through incentives, not conspiracy. And once you see the machinery, you stop reacting on cue. Here's the sharp breakdown. No timestamps, pure edge. I'm borrowing, by the way, some of this from what I learned from Chase Hughes, a PSYOP expert, and adding on some. So make sure to thumb up this video, knowing that I'm doing my best to serve you. Layer 1, the mediated reality. You used to live events directly. Now you consume coverage, pre-framed interpretations, avatars, personas, masks. It's cosplay, the civilization edition. Headlines begin to replace understanding because we are inundated with information that's usually all that most people bother to read. Brands replace identity. Nike, just do it. Hugo Boss makes you suave. Drinking Grey Goose makes you cool. They imprint this into your mind and nudge you to maintain your identity continually by consuming their products, from which, of course, they profit. Even politically, labels are beginning to replace human beings. You're voting blue no matter who, a slogan that roughly translates to, I've outsourced my brain to a color-coded committee. You're not in reality. You're in a symbolic overlay. Symbols, they dominate. So truth becomes optional. It just needs to be repeatable, emotionally charged, and, most importantly, socially enforced. That, my friends, is the simulation kicking in, where you are being guided not by your own reasoning, but in an ever-expanding and flowing PSYOP seeking to control your mind, and thus your actions. Layer 2, human conditioning. Brands master this first. Remember that brand comes from burning an ownership mark into livestock. Now it's you that's been conditioned by metrics, algorithms, visibility, approval signs. Only you, my friends, you are the cattle now. And you're begging for the iron because it comes with a like count. Whatever gets rewarded repeats. Whatever gets ignored vanishes. People flatten themselves into shareable extremes. More performative, more predictable. Authenticity dies when external performance overrides internal experience. The result? You can go out there and virtue signal and gain fleeting approval externally. But when people digest this sugar rush, almost all begin to feel hollow inside, and they go out and seek the next hit. Layer 3, the collapse of information. Information, when taken in, when digested, creates understanding. The system swaps this for content, which is designed to occupy your attention, to trigger emotions inside, and to kill silence, which is, by the way, where thinking lives. Everything feels urgent, yet nothing resolves. You're engaged and aware, but it's a loop. Resolution ends the cycle. So, resolution never arrives. You're not participating, you're baited You're a hamster on a wheel, and the breaking news banner is the carrot they employ to keep you moving. We are being emotionally hijacked to keep up with the news, digesting headlines, and being patted on the head algorithmically for repeating the mantra to our friends, to those around us, and spreading the message, yet few people have true understanding of what actually is going on. Layer 4, fear and identity control. Humans are wired for small tribe survival. Generally, we know 150 people max, that we know well at least. And this has been for literally eons. Exclusion leads to a quick death. That wiring persists, but belonging now comes from likes, from group identities, and digital approval. Conformity is enforced via social threat. Question the frame, risk ostracism. Fear scales best. It spikes the heart rate. It slashes nuance. It boosts shares, and it locks in the memory. We avoid that which we fear. We go out of our way to do so. Therefore, we remember. The system feeds what pisses you off because outrage is profitable. You're kept in a perpetual moral emergency. New crises, new villain, new outrage, fragmenting identity. Morality becomes display, virtue signaling. A lapel pin on your shirt designates you a person of moral worth. Belief turns into a costume, expressed for external approval. Your moral compass hasn't been calibrated. It's just been replaced by a focus group. And it's easy to update remotely. People feel relief when handed pre-packaged positions. No thinking required, just alignment. Because alignment feels safe amid engineered fear. Layer 5, the narrative warfare. Modern news doesn't repeat reality. It constructs frames. Victim, villain, righteous side, and allowed questions. Facts are optional. It happens like this. Event transpires. Then, fully formed story drops instantaneously. You're told how to feel, who to blame, and what it means before you can think. Narratives radicalize because they deliver heroes, enemies, moral certainty, urgency, and the permission to hate. My side, your side. One detail amplified is context buried. Nuance is murdered because nuance slows reaction. And reaction, my friends, is the product. That's what keeps you scrolling. That's what keeps you buying. Demonization thrives. Don't debate. First, no. Dehumanize. Left versus right is audience segmentation. Two emotional marketplaces. Predictable tribes fighting downstream distractions while upstream power stays untouched. That said, I do believe the left actually does want to destroy all that holds society and humanity together because nothing screams progress like burning down the house to see if the foundation just might be offensive. Am I participating by pointing this out over and over? Given the fact that the Senate refuses to pass the SAVE Act, I'm not sure I am affecting power upstream as we fight amongst each other and laugh at the worst of the left or the right has to offer. Layer 6, the theater of power. Politics isn't problem solving, it's stagecraft. Roles, costumes, and predictable arcs. Performative outrage, symbolic gestures. Hearings look dramatic, but they accomplish nothing. They are the distractions. That's what they are. A modern day gladiator fight on Capitol Hill, except the gladiators are 80-year-olds peering over their glasses. Speeches stir emotion, but what do they change? Zilch. Scandals cycle endlessly. But, my friends, with zero consequence. I mean, look at the fact that Tim Walz and Keith Ellison remain untouched in Minnesota. The Epstein network still walks free. The justice system is basically just a VIP lounge where the bouncers only check the IDs of the impoverished. Corruption is background noise, and we become numb to it, and that's to be expected. This isn't apathy, my friends. It's conditioning. Right and wrong are swapped for team loyalty. Is this our side? Well, if so, I excuse it. I rationalize it away. Endless conflict, zero resolution. The distraction machine absorbs attention, releases nothing. Most political content keeps you emotionally occupied, not informed. The goal is engagement. As I said, to keep you scrolling, to keep you watching, because you're more likely to buy the more that you're on their platform. Like the election meltdown videos that I make. I do so to attract an audience so I can get some of you to listen to the more thought-provoking stuff like this. Manipulation in this world is peaking. The facts are intact, but framing controls the experience that you have. Events happen. The frame, that arrives first. You defend the interpretation like you witnessed it personally, which you would actually attest to in court of law that at least emotionally you did. Why? Because your nerve centers are continually hijacked in the framing and the telling of the story. Whoever owns the stories, whoever controls the frame, owns the responses. Humans grasp the world through mythic structure. The hero's journey is hijacked. Your side equals hero, the other is the villain. Victims justify. Archetypes bypass reason. Morality turns symbolic. Slogans, flags, hashtags, and profile frames. Stories don't need truth. They need to make you feel something. Preferably good, but outrage, believe me, that counts too. You've got media, fear, division, politics. They all feed the symbolic layer over reality. No grand conspiracy required, just aligned incentives. Seeing it, by the way, it doesn't make us enlightened or superior. It orients us. Performances turn obvious. Rage at the machine fades. The world, it stops feeling fake. It feels noise covered. Reality's still there, underneath the simulation. If you're unsettled by this, well, good. That's the point. You just broke the cue and the reaction loop. That's the system's worst nightmare. You're a glitch in the software. So goodness gracious, take a deep breath when you're being fed a story that is designed to make you feel X and redirect yourself, when possible, to the underlying truths that you are not supposed to think about. When enough people do that, we break the cycle and, most importantly, their manipulation.